So let me be very clear. We really have no choice but to build a powerful wall or steel barrier. If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again, or I will use the powers afforded to me under the laws and the Constitution of the United States to address this emergency. We will have great security. And I want to thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
In an extraordinary act of patriotism, the president, he put country before party. He gave the Democrats what many of them privately have been asking for, and that's 3 weeks to do their job, take action on America's border and its crisis. And if not, he will declare a national emergency on February 15th. Now, the president spoke directly to the American people from the Rose Garden about this deal, emphatically declared he's still fighting for that border wall. It's about life and death and safety and security. Take a look.
If we make a fair deal, the American people will be proud of their government for proving that we can put country before party. Walls should not be controversial. Our country has built 654 miles of barrier over the last 15 years, and every career Border Patrol agent I have spoken with has told me that walls work. They do work.
All right, joining us now with reaction to all the breaking news today, author of his new book, co-authored with Pete Early, entitled Collusion, former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. So this is what happened behind the scenes, and I knew this was going on for a couple of weeks. Democrats privately pulling in the Senate Lindsey Graham aside and some others in the House, Mark Meadows and others pulling them aside, saying they want the wall. Their leadership will not even touch it until the government's open. Asking, pleading, begging, give us a chance. The president said, all right, you have 3 weeks. What do you think?
Well, look, I think given the way it played out, this is probably the strongest thing President Trump can do. He's actually in a pretty good position to demand two things. One, that Nancy Pelosi make an order as Speaker, a substitute. He's not going to get anything out of her. I mean, her left is so crazy, she couldn't possibly compromise. Well, what she could do is allow Kevin McCarthy, the Republican leader, to offer a bill in 3 weeks that would keep the government open, build the wall, solve the challenge with the Dreamers, and I believe that bill would carry the House by a surprisingly big margin. That's what Ronald Reagan did with Tip O'Neill. He knew he couldn't get O'Neill to compromise, but he could get O'Neill to schedule a vote in which the majority of the House would vote for something that the left wouldn't accept. The second thing the president ought to say is pretty simple. If you don't get your job done, I'm not going to close the government, but the minute this is over, I'm going to file a presidential decree that this is a national emergency, that you and the Congress have failed totally to protect America, and that we're building the wall with money that we can get out of the defense budget and the Homeland Security budget, and just run over them. This idea that the Democrats today, the leadership of the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, care more about hurting Donald Trump than they care about either 800,000 federal employees or than they care about defending our southern border. I think it is unsustainable, and I think the president is in a position now. He has taken a beating in public opinion. He's had the natural 90% anti-Trump news media against him every single day. But he still believes, as commander-in-chief, that his job is to protect Americans. And I think 3 weeks from now will be the real test.
You know what's amazing about this? The president, when he talks about the issue, he keeps talking about cartels and gangs and not the 98% of people that want to get here to have a better life, but the 2% that have committed homicides against Americans, sexual assaults against Americans, violent assaults against Americans. So he's talking about life and death, percent of heroin that comes in from that border. He's talking about safety and security. And this is what's interesting. He's offered a compromise. He's invited people to sit down. They won't even show up. They go off on their junkets. What does Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, where do they stand? What are they doing here? What are they really fighting for? I don't see a thing except hating Trump.
Look, I think Pelosi and Schumer are at a much bigger crossroads than Trump is. I mean, Trump stood firmly for what he believes in. He's in a position in 3 weeks to enact it by executive order if he has to, and then get in a big fight over it, but that'll be fine. They've got a real, I think this is a defining moment for the modern Democratic Party. Is it really going to be owned by left-wing radicals who want open borders, who don't see anything as a threat, who believe in talking in hateful ways about their opponents? Or are they going to say, all right, let's have an open vote? All Pelosi would have to do is in the next 3 weeks agree to an open vote, and my guess is you would pass reopening the government with border controls with probably not 290 votes. And only by playing games can she avoid that.
I thank you. God bless you, and may he continue to bless the nation that has showered this land with love for more than 2 centuries. Thank you all. God bless you all.